Hey, somebody at the board wave or something. I think that's good. Alright, I see you. This way somehow. Okay.
No, I got it. It's good. It's there. Good to see it. All right. What? I got 19. Harry Potter. I have a Gryffindor pen.
I like the first Harry Potter.
Grant just gave it to me. I don't know. Okay. Okay, we are going to, okay, here's kind of the outline of what we're doing this week. We got a test Friday. We have covered everything for this test. So we're going to spend, I don't know, about half the class today going through some practice problems. And then we're going to the other half, you can do your homework and work on the review. Tomorrow we'll go through and do some practice problems. And you can do your homework and the rest of the review. Wednesday, we're going to go over that review. Look at all the, it is a lot like a test. Do all the questions that you have on that. Make sure everybody has their questions answered. Thursday, I'll let you know. Thursday, we will probably do some kind of final preparation, and then Friday is your test. Not Jeopardy.
Yes, Jeopardy.
I may not be here Thursday. I'm trying to get my husband to take my daughter to the dentist, but if I have to take off,
I'll take her to the dentist.
I may not be here. So,
Hey,
Me and Brandon got it.
you're gonna take her to the dentist?
Yeah. I have a mixture like
Okay,
dentistry.
chapter 2, here are the topics. Here's what you need to know for this test. Point around. Alright, you gotta know increasing, decreasing piecewise, domain and range. What's the difference? What's a main difference when you're notating increasing and decreasing and then domain and range? What's something different about increasing and decreasing when you're writing them down than you do for domain and range?
The increasing and decreasing always.
I can do it. I just don't know any question.
Always get parentheses. The increasing and decreasing always get parentheses. Always. For domain and range, they can possibly have brackets, okay? Depending on if it can equal that point or if it's up to that point. Then we did algebra functions where you add, subtract, multiply, and divide expressions together. Then we did composition of functions and symmetry, transformation, even on in all those types of functions. And then we looked at direct and inverse variation and the application of those. All right, so we're going to do some problems today. Determine the interval in which the function is increasing. Take a look for your answer. If your answer is A, text. Okay, so then text. Here's what you're going to text. If your answer is A, you're going to text 268324 to 37607. Your answer is B, text this number. If it's C, text this number. If it's D, text this number.
What number?
When is it increasing? When is this function increasing?
Duh. Yeah.
It's the same number we text you every time. It's just the code is a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah? No.
Is he gonna tell me if I'm right or wrong?
It won't, but I will. In just a second. Give everybody an opportunity to
Why do these
go.
codes get longer and longer?
No, they're the same. Should be 6 digits.
I barely memorized my phone number.
Okay.
Alright. Everybody had an opportunity.
1 second.
I'm working on it.
Caleb's a little slow.
Okay.
Hey, Miss
I got
Okay,
it.
Caleb, you got it. Grace?
Yeah, I got it.
Finished? Ashley?
I don't know what this means.
She said.
Okay, I'll come check it in just a second. Let's look at the answer, and then while everybody's answering the next one, I'll come check it. Okay. According to the poll, you guys thought the answer was
What?
No one answered.
There we go.
A.
Who put
Okay,
For
so
real?
we've got a lot of people answering A and a lot of people answering
Wait,
D.
I didn't look at D. It might have been D.
I don't know, I just had to.
I just
said A because Justin
Let's go back.
texted us on accident.
I didn't have time
Who put B and C?
Alright,
There's more than one
let's
question.
look. The answer is A. It is increasing between 0 and 1. When your x values go from 0 to 1, it's increasing. What? What's the matter, Caleb?
Grant told me a joke.
Okay. 1 to 2 is decreasing. 0 to 1, it is increasing. All right, so let's clear these results.
Hey, this is college out there, guys.
Real mature.
Okay.
Can I vote more than once?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I don't mind you eating, that's fine. Just make sure it's in the back of the class. Okay, next question. Use a graphic calculator to find any relative maxima or minima of f of x equals x cubed minus 6x squared.
Pretty sure this is a problem on our Don't ever read it again.
Okay. Do you have unlimited texting? Then it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It would only be people who don't have unlimited texting.
If you don't have unlimited texting, you may not want to do this. Okay?
Oh, I do.
I'll be glad to check yours on your
My parents only let me
paper.
send like 50 texts a month.
Really?
I have a
Sure, I know
problem.
your
See
parents.
on my
I got the giggles
Hey,
today.
come look at it. Hey, some of you are not able to see it. You're going to need to adjust your window. Okay? If you'll hit the window button, think about if you need to open your window up left and right, you're going to need to change your X min and X max. If you need to change your window vertically, you're going to need to change your Y min and Y max.
what should we do?
X max, not X max. What? Try negative 20 and see if that doesn't work. Try negative 30. Try negative 40. Try to just make sure you can see a max and a min.
Why does it
You
say
can
air
have these
window
windows on the
range?
test.
If
If
it-
you don't, I'm gonna fail.
If it says error window range, it's likely that you have your scatter plot turned on.
Yeah, I do, because there's always a dot in my graph.
Okay,
when I think about
so go to second Y equals, turn your scatter plot off. It's also
it. Okay.
if you have error window range, you want to check to see if your min is higher than your max. Sometimes people get it messed up and like their min is at 10 and then their max is at 5, and that can't be.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
not.
I found it.
50 is good.
Can we get Windows on the test? I feel like if I sit here and do this for all my problems, this finish, I'm not gonna finish.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll look into that.
It didn't work.
-10.
I just didn't yes.
Vote.
Okay. Have you voted? Have you voted, Sarah?
No.
Voted? 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 Chandler, have you voted yet? No, not yet. Peyton, have you voted yet?
No. Haley's calculator won't work. Yeah, help.
You don't need another calculator?
I like mine. It just, every time you press the number, it just. I don't know, what happened? I don't know, I just pressed it.
Said I'll make sure he'll be here. You told Josh.
Phones are for texting answers.
Yeah.
Phones are for texting answers, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's check what we have texted in.
I didn't give an answer.
Okay. About 2/3 of you are saying the answer is B, about 1/3 is A. Let's take a look. B. They both have the same max. 0 at 0. But the second part is where we had some confusion. Was there a relative minimum at 4 when x was 32? Or was it at negative 32 when x was 4? And it was actually at negative 32 when x was 4. Okay? Alright. Let me go back and clear those out. functions represents that particular piecewise function?
I don't know. I can't see.
I had to,
No,
it means it's something for a while, and then it's something else for a while, and then it's something else for a while.
Wave at the camera.
I'm trying to videotape the board, and I know it can't see you, but I can. I just don't have my phone with me. Still do the question to like write down A or B. I'd be glad to come in and check and see what you got written down. Okay.
Alright, this graph is linear until we get to -3. So it's some kind of y equals mx plus b equation when x is less than -3. And then it's constant between -3 and 0. It's actually 2 between -3 and 0. And then it's a quadratic, a curve, when x is greater than 0.
Oh, I can't go.
So I'm looking for a x squared graph when x is greater than 0. So this has 2 minus x squared for x is greater than 0. And D does as well. So it's either A or D. It's constant between -3 and 0, which A has it being 2 between -3 and 0, and D doesn't have that. It has a constant between 0 and 2. So it's going to have to be A, because it's also linear when x is less than or equal to -3. On your homework, you had to graph these. It said graph this, and then graph this part, and then graph the other part. And we looked at how to do that on your calculator.
I forgot those. That's right.
Is that gonna be on the quiz or on the test where you give us a graph and we have to find the piecewise function? Because I do not.
Yeah, I'm an average guesser.
I don't even know what you just did.
Okay, let's take a look at how would I graph these parts, or how would, just looking at this, how would I write the equations? You're about to split out.
That's I told him to be quiet. That's not sound.
Well, he wasn't listening. All right. Okay. It is a linear function. This is a line. This line has a slope of -2. It would have a y-intercept of -4. Stop.
Chance.
Y equals -2x minus 4 is this line.
Am I the only one not seeing what she's
No,
writing?
it's not showing
No.
up. Oh,
No, it's just you. I see it.
all right.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Oh!
There's a ghost in here.
Okay. This line is y equals -2x minus 4. That's this one. This is the line y equals 2, right there. Okay? And this is the line y equals 2 minus x squared. So all I'm going to do is tell where is it -2x minus 4, where is it y equals 2, and where is it 2 minus x squared. That's just the equation. It's upside down and moved up 2. You wouldn't have to come up with that equation at this point, okay? But I know it's going to be a -x squared because it's flipped upside down. This is when we get to section 5 where you have to describe transformations of graphs. That's an x squared graph flipped upside down and moved up 2. Okay. So you just look at where is it the different parts. It is this part when x is less than -3. It is this part between -3 and 0, and it's that part from 0 to infinity.
Oh my god, you're gonna die. What are you supposed to do now? What are you supposed to do?
I know, they're not. Do this video I use.
Hey, we're gonna
Thanks,
let me vote
guys.
twice.
Do what?
We're gonna let me vote twice.
Huh?
It won't let you vote twice.
Okay. You can't change it?
No.
That's what you're saying? I'm sorry.
What's that?
I feel like you're not really sorry.
I mean, I wish it would let you go. I wish it would let you change your answer, but I can't do anything about your software.
It's very great.
Okay, let's look at another one.
This is so great.
Evaluate the piecewise function f of -1 when
Doing what?
I have people doing homework when I'm trying to teach.
Not me.
It's okay. It's not like that.
And texting and on Instagram and on whatever sites. If I can get to 12:30, I will give you the rest of the period to get your homework done. But if I can go through some of these examples and explain them to
It's like an
you,
hour.
you're better off. 11:30. Alright. Find f of -1 if f of x equals. Okay. F of x will be x squared plus 1. If your x value is less than or equal to -3, it will be absolute value of x minus 6. If your x is between -3 and 1, and it'll be the square root of 3x if your x value is greater than 1. So find f of -1. Go.
Do we text it now?
Text it now. Go.
I already have the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Really? I think you're on. I'm gonna trust you.
Okay.
Oh, misnumbered it.
No.
I mean, people, raise your hand, we need more time to vote. Right? Got 2 more people voting.
Lock it
I
in.
wish you would not tell me what the answer.
You may not have the right answer. Make sure you got the right answer.
I got it wrong.
Ready? Let's check.
Who did? Oh. Everybody. Oh. Wow.
Alright.
Said it out loud.
The majority answer is correct. However, we've got a lot of wrong answers here. So let's take a look and see if we can figure out the problem and fix that. So, if you take a look at this piecewise function, to evaluate f of -1, I've got to figure out which expression would include -1 in its range of values in that part of the domain. So -1 is actually here, between -3 and +1. If I was using a value smaller than -3, I would plug into the top expression. If I was using a value for x that's greater than 1, I would use the bottom expression. But since I'm using a value for x, I'm using -1, and that's between -3 and +1. So I'm going to want to do the absolute value of -1 minus 6. Absolute value of -7 is 7. The answer is C, 7.
Because it's in between -3 and 1.
The absolute value is negative. Never mind, just talking. I get what you're saying, but it's the one on the other side of the same.
Okay, let's try one more, and then I'll give you an opportunity to work on some practice problems for your test. Okay, find f of 2 using the exact same set of piecewise function. Find f of 2. Decide which expression to substitute into, and find the value of f of 2.
Ms. Beeson?
Sir.
It says f of x is less than or equal to 3. It would be -3.
Should be. And I corrected that earlier, but I must not have. We found that mistake.
I want to tell everybody else because they're going to get it wrong.
Alright. Should be here. This should be -3. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like it's greater than 1 and that's.
Sorry.
Wait, what did you change?
That top one should have been x is less than or equal to
Can you tell me how to
-3.
do this again?
If the x value you're substituting is less than or equal to -3, you're going to use x squared plus 1. If the x value that you're using is between -3 and +1, then you're going to use the absolute value of x minus 6. And if the x value that you're evaluating for is bigger than 1, you're going to do the square root of 3 times that x value.
It's supposed to be a big decimal. Oh, that's it.
Sorry.
See it? Aren't you finding it?
Can I just add the letter?
March 7th. You get on it? Me too.
Hey, look at there.
hold on.
Oh, we got it right!
No way!
Put that one on your video.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
We're video worthy!
Maybe. Alright.
Just have one person.
Okay. The rest of you, we're gonna look at the rest of these tomorrow. Today you've got 10 problems to try. I think they involve adding functions and determining domains of adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Things from earlier in chapter 2. Who's that last?
Miss Vision,